tried to get out, and the time was now.
Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Sitting Down with Standups. I am your co-host, Justin Sakarica, back from the clutches of the Deep South. As always, we have the Bean behind the scene, Daryl Bean, our technical wizard. Also my plumber, because he fixed my toilet earlier on for me today, which I greatly appreciate. Daryl?
That's how you know we had a special guest coming.
Yes, a very special notice. We had to fix the toilet. Yes. Everybody else just go in the backyard like the dogs. I do not care. And of course, as always, to my immediate left, I have the very lovely Alana Gonzalez. And to my extreme left,
Very extreme.
Very extreme, yes. 80s wrestling legend, WWE Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
And the champion of my pillow pal buddy wrestling matches.
The truth comes out.
Yes.
Yep, that's
Truth comes out.
So
it is kind of a reveal. I don't think we've ever talked about it, but I was nervous a lot. How I was gonna react when he came walking down the stairs, because Jake was literally my first crush. Wow. And yeah, I had the pillow. I had the board game.
You cannot blame it on me.
Have you seen the pants, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God! I don't know that I told you this. I just was telling Jake, I had a stuffed snake that was probably I don't know, 4 or 5 feet long, that went basically like where the crown molding would go in your bedroom.
oh, okay, yeah.
And you're not much older than me, but just a
decade or two.
Just a little.
Yeah,
So,
a couple of decades.
I was transitioning out of Strawberry Shortcake and into Jake the Snake, and so there are photos of my room where it's still part, I was 8, so I was moving up in the world.
Yes,
and,
you were maturing, so to speak.
Yeah, and my heart's still going, because I was nervous that I was gonna just scream right in your face the second that you hit the stairs. I was telling these guys.
You didn't, I would have thought all sorts of horrible things.
We brought you down to this basement, and I'm screaming in your face.
Yeah.
I know her mom.
Remember that night in Tampa? Oh. No, I don't.
We were driving on our trip here, since we went the wrong direction, only 100 miles. We don't give up easy. We were talking about going to a gentleman's club.
No.
I know. And I used to go to one called the Landing Strip.
Oh yeah, it's right down the street. Mm-hmm.
And my buddy says, well, we ought to go back. I said, I don't know about that. I said, I might run into a girl that the last thing I want her to say is, you used to date my mom. Dad. Yeah. It's still open, huh?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still open.
Oh, well.
Is that the one that changed to the Flight Club?
No, so...
Or is that... We've got so many.
Yeah, and I am ashamed to admit I know almost all of them. Yeah, the Flight Club has always been the Flight Club.
Okay.
That's the one that gets rated every couple of months.
Okay, got it.
It's not really
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
No, there was one night, me and my friends were hanging out, and my buddy's mom is a cop, and she was on the raid team, and she called him, and she's like, where the fuck are you at? And he's like, we're at home. And she's like, okay, bye. Because they only know where they're going about 30 seconds before they go raid a place, and they were going to raid the Flight Club. And she wanted to call and make sure that we weren't there so we could peace out. Yeah.
Wow.
Luckily, we weren't there, because that would have been embarrassing. But,
Wow.
Yeah. But, I mean, who hasn't been in a dirty strip club before that's been raided, right?
I can say that I never have.
Well, you're going tonight.
Yeah. So I got plenty of singles upstairs,
Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Have you heard
of
of it?
dirty.
I'll go bullet wounds, stab wounds, whatever we got.
Okay, let's
C-section
go.
stars, let's go.
Back hair, Have you heard of a spot called Bogart's, Jake?
No.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing.
There's the other one. What's the King?
Henry VIII.
Henry VIII. That's what it is. Yeah.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the hot spot. There's Deja Vu.
Yeah, you get them all, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean especially.
MGM.
Yeah.
Or you could just take a drive down Michigan Avenue, and if you want to go the more extreme route, if you want to find them in the wild, you can do
you
that.
want to go direct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't bring my rifle.
Yeah, we've got such diversity here because you could
yeah.
go down Michigan Ave, but you could, you
thanks.
could go a little north. You could go down 8 Mile.
Yeah.
And that's what I love whenever somebody comes in from out of town and they're like, "Oh, Detroit, I want to see 8 Mile." No, it's
No,
just
you don't.
strip clubs and coke dealers.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and Jake, you've obviously been to Detroit before, probably
Oh, yeah.
hundreds of times. Like, what honest opinion and experiences that you've had here in the Detroit area?
I'm not sure the statute of
I was just
limitations are
gonna
up.
say.
I know they're not up with my wife. I'm going to claim the 5th on that one.
Gotcha.
Smart.
I've gotten in way too much trouble in this town.
Yeah. And again, it's Detroit kind of has that reputation, but I think we've all, been in a little bit of trouble here and there
Oh,
before,
Yeah, I asked for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially a man of, of your storied career, which
Yeah.
is a very storied career, by the
Yes,
way.
it was.
What are you doing in town this time? We'll start with a little plug.
We're getting ready to do WrestleCon, and then I'm also going over to Flint and do a signing at a store.
Oh, nice.
That's how I fund my habits these days. I whore myself out to sign autographs.
Love it.
And if somebody would have told me that at 67 years old you're going to be making more money than you did when you were wrestling, signing autographs.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
How's your forearm strength?
It's fine.
Yeah. I know all about forearm strength, trust me.
Yeah. I'm ambidextrous. Comes from milking cows.
Oh,
Milking cows. Sure it does.
Yeah.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. So it's crazy to think that with all the years that you were doing wrestling, that
yeah.
now you're making more money. And when I was telling
That's
people
insane.
that we were gonna have you on, I was like, yeah, he also goes and he performs at comedy clubs, and like
got my
what?
stand up.
Yeah, now that is so much fun to hear you say that because all of us are stand-up comedians,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we would love to pick your brain on like
Oh my God!
I
I
mean,
just, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I just go out there and tell road stories. The crazy shit that happened on the road or in the locker room, because that's where all the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
The fans pay tickets to sit out, in the audience and think they got the show. No, the show's in the back.
yeah.
I would be in the back, and I'd wait till there's about 10 guys in the shower, then I'd get the snake out and slide it across the shower
Jesus Christ.
and watch all the arms and dicks flailing around, and all the voices change from hey to hey.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would. Yeah, that shower would quickly become a toilet.
Oh yeah, it would empty real quickly, and there'd be a couple of guys bust their asses because that floor would be slick,
I'm
man.
sure.
And that snake would be pissed off because I'd make sure he was mad when I threw him in there.
Yeah.
And
Now-
the other thing I used to do is catch a guy on the toilet and then throw the snake over the top.
Shut up.
There's nothing like getting hit in the head with a 100-pound snake if you're taking a dump.
Oh my
God.
That
gosh.
was always good for a laugh.
Oh, I've always had. I don't know if I saw it in a horror movie or what, but I've always had this fear that something's gonna come up in the toilet. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's always just in the back of my mind, even if I'm not.
Snakes do.
But to have, I've never thought about one coming from the
Yeah.
heavens.
Yeah, I had a snake get away from me in Australia, and there was a wrestler there, a Japanese wrestler there, that would not even dress in the same locker room with me
Because
because he
of the
was
snake.
so afraid of snakes. So they got him a locker room on the other side of the Coliseum. He had his match, and he goes into the shower. When he's coming out of the shower, the snake comes up out of the toilet with his head and looks at him, and that was it. The dude didn't even get dressed, ran right through the building naked to the other side, told the promoter he's done.
Oh,
he went home 10 days early.
I don't blame him. How many times I mean, don't give me a number. I don't expect you to know. But did a snake get away from you often? Was that
It happened probably a half dozen times.
Oh my God, it's a half dozen too much.
I had one get away from me at Diamond Dallas Page's house, and his wife had 3 cats.
He's
So
like, what the hell,
that was
man?
an
I'm trying to
issue.
help you out.
Yeah.
I got you coming in here. I give you a place to stay.
And here I am losing a fucking 15-foot king cobra in his house. But I left that day.
Yeah, I get.
So was that a gimmick that you came up with for wrestling, or have you always just?
No, I'm terrified of snakes. Deathly afraid of them.
You do realize there are other gimmicks available, right? Okay.
Billy the Bug would have been fine with me. I'll just walk around with a fucking cockroach. Except they freak me out too. No, I came up with the idea, but nobody would do it. And then when I went to the WWF at the time, they were all about it. You know, they seen the marketing that you could get out of it, and hell, they're still selling shit on me. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
8-year-old girls buying toy snakes. It's a thing.
oh yeah, I mean, you know, and it's crazy too, because again, you know, you tell people about Jake the Snake. You're one of the few guys from the golden years that people still remember.
Still remember.
You know, you mentioned Coco Beware. They're like, who the hell is Coco Beware?
Exactly.
You know, who are the Rougeau brothers? You know.
Yeah.
You mentioned Jake the Snake, and they're like, yeah, that was the guy that tried to kill Macho Man, and yeah, scared the hell out of me as a kid. That moment right there. Because I was kind of getting toward the age where I'm like, I don't know if wrestling's real. That made me believe wrestling was real for at least another
real.
6 months.
That was real there.
Oh, yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
Macho...
wrong.
Oh, yeah. I'm always wrong. Macho Man wanted the snake to bite you first, correct? Because he thought maybe you were playing some games.
He thought I was playing some game where I was going to become the new Intercontinental Champion, you know. Freak out.
Didn't know you did impressions.
Oh
Nice
yeah,
work.
I do those too. But yeah, he came in the locker room and said, "You're going to have to let the snake bite you first, brother." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Funnier things have happened in the WWF, man. Like, dude, you fucked up. He's like, "We're gonna have to do it one way or the other." I'm like, "Oh, that ain't worth fighting over. Fuck that." So I pulled up my pants leg and got the snake near it, and he latched onto my calf, chewed it for 4 or 5 seconds, and I pulled him off. And he's like, "Don't fucking move. Don't take no elixirs. Don't take no antidotes. Don't take no pills. Don't drink no elixirs or anything, and let's just see what happens to you." So I sat there for about 20 minutes, man. He's like, "Well, I guess it was okay."
Wow. So how the hell do you go from terrified of snakes to, all right, fuck it, here, bite my calf?
A crazy thing happens in that locker room. When you go in that locker room, you become that person.
Gotcha.
Jake wasn't afraid of anything. Didn't give a fuck about anything. Aurelian Smith is so fucking scared of snakes, he pissed himself.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because I had to travel with it on the road, I mean, and that meant staying in my hotel room. Oh, my God. Put it in the bathtub. Of course, he didn't stay in the bathtub.
Oh, my gosh.
Put a little water in the bathtub and put the snake in there and get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go piss. I don't know about you, but I'm not pulling my junk out.
Absolutely not.
And shake it a couple of times, He thinks it's a fucking game, Because my dick looks like a mouse anyway,
Oh, my God. Yeah, at that point, you're just teasing it. You're just antagonizing that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what happened one night. We went out to the landing strip. Stayed way too long.
No.
After closing, everything, you know, it was a full bore night. Come back, don't even remember going back to the hotel. And the next morning I wake up, I go piss, and I'm like, where's the fucking snake at?
Uh-oh.
It's January.
Oh.
So, long story short, I go out and find it. It's still in the car.
Oh.
And frozen dead as a doornail. Man. So, I'm in a real spot now. You know, because I ain't got no fucking snake. And the fans do not like that shit.
Yeah, and you can't just get
It's
one
like-
on Amazon.
There's pet stores. Yeah, we got a 12-incher. Oh, that'll be great. Look out, Andre, here I come. You know, what the fuck, you know? So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And finally, my buddy Hacksaw, which you guys have met, he finally goes fucking ballistic on me and tells me, fuck you. The Jake the Snake Roberts I know would know exactly what to do. Okay. And since you know him so well, tell me what do you do? And basically, it's just use a dead one. So I did.
He just like pretended like
He was alive, yeah.
it was like Weekend at
would-
Bernie's,
Like a
but
weekend-
I would dump it out of the bag, grab it real quick, and then I'd move it around like this. Oh, it's coming for my neck, you know. Oh, it's going for my dick, you know. Had to get some comedy in there too, you know. And we did that. I did that for 6 days.
Wow.
And on the 7th day, it was a bad day at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke in half.
Oh.
And all the goo and shit came out of him. And God, it reeked.
During a match?
During a
or-
match.
Oh.
Yeah.
that wasn't on live TV, was it?
No, thank
oh
God,
my
no.
God, can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh wow, that would have been. I
It was
think that
still
would
a
have been.
bad night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's so like the stuff that you're expecting to go through in a wrestling match. Like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get beat up, I'm gonna get bruised, I might break something, you know, hell, I might end up in the hospital. But covered in partially
goo.
frozen dead snake goo.
Well, it
is
wasn't
not,
frozen in.
It's not on the list of things.
No, I had to throw him out before I used him the first time.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
that's true.
Oh my God, man, that just. Again, that's just probably a drop in the bucket of all the crazy shit that you've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
and gone
that's,
through.
that's like, yeah, you're right, a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Another thing that I loved growing up were the vignettes that you did with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
When, like, again, like, you know, by that point I kind of knew that wrestling was,
Right.
you know, it was scripted, but still just when you turned heel,
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. And then he goes into the room full of snakes, and then the
Yeah.
Cobra gets him. I'm like, this guy's evil. This guy's a freaking dirty bastard. He's gonna kill the Ultimate Warrior. He's
Fucking
friends
right.
with the Undertaker.
That's right.
Oh my God, what is the Undertaker like? I've heard he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I've heard he's wonderful. I heard that Paul Bearer was great.
He's wonderful too, man.
Yeah,
He's a sweetheart.
yeah, he seemed like he was.
He told me a funny story one time. He said, you know, he's very robust. And I come downstairs, and we had stayed in the Pocono Mountains, and we'd done a show up there, and the owner of this honeymoon hotel had given us all honeymoon suites. You know, with the heart bed. You know,
Did you put
with
quarters
with
in
the
it?
mirrors. No, with the mirrors on the ceiling, the whole shit, and shabazz, and the hot tub, everything. You know. And I come downstairs, and he's like, "Oh, Jake, please sit down. I've got to tell you a horrible story." I'm like, "What's wrong, Paul?" He's like, "My wife's the sickest fucking bitch alive." So what are you talking about? And he goes, "My wife, she's horrible." "What'd she do to you, man?" He goes, "Last night I smoked me a little doobie, and I got into the hot tub, and I floated around for about 30 minutes, and drank the champagne, and then I got out of the hot tub, dried off, and laid up on that bed. And all of a sudden, I just looked at the mirror, and I thought, what a sick fucking bitch she is to fuck something that looks like this, you know?"
Oh my God.
Yeah. He had me.
Oh my God. And again, just seeing Paul Bear doing that,
Yeah.
and it's funny because like when you watch some of his interviews, you can tell he's trying to make people laugh.
Oh, yeah.
So I give all the credit in the world to you guys for not busting out laughing when he's
yeah.
really getting into his character, because
You gotta chew a hole in your lip, man. Or your tongue.
now,
Yeah, there's a reason why the ceiling mirrors did not make it into suburban households.
absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly
You
why.
don't want to look up there.
You do that on your honeymoon when you're
You
in your
might get away
20s.
with it.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
It helps you learn what to do, you know? Like, it helps you learn. It's like a little guide, but by the time you get older, you should be able to know how to pleasure your partner without the help of a
You
mirror.
want to go to sleep with your own shame. You don't want to have to be faced with
You don't want to wake up looking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a good thing.
Start the day off the wrong way.
So speaking of starting, what made you want to get into comedy? Like, what made you say, you know what, I think I've got something here to go
I
and...
just, I'd tell stories and stuff, and the guys would just be pissing themselves. And so I went to see Mick Foley. And I watched his show, and I said, well, fuck that. If I'm not funnier than that, I'll quit. Sorry, Mick. I mean, I just didn't...
He's coming in next. He'll be in about
that's
20
fine.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll tell him to his face, too. It doesn't bother me. I just didn't find this shit funny. Not near enough F-bombs,
Yeah.
One of those clean guys. Fuck him.
Oh, yeah. I can't do clean comedy. I mean, I've heard it's a way to get good gigs, but I just can't do it. I can't figure it out. I'm a vulgar comic. I'm a dirty comic. I think we all are. We're all pretty dirty
How
to a
dare
certain.
you. I'm a classy bitch. How dare
Yes,
you.
she definitely classes up the joint for sure.
No, but it's interesting to hear you say that, because I do think that there are clear avenues of people, and you can tell a lot about a person, because there are the people that just, they do it one time and then they're basically chasing that dragon for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And then there are those people that have that internal fire that are just like, I can do that shit. Like, bring it. And that is, I think that's very telling in a lot of at least what I know that you've done, that it's just like, yeah, I can fucking do that. Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's all storytelling. I mean, comedy's no different than wrestling matches. It's storytelling. We go out there and we try to tell a story. And comedy's the same thing. You're trying to tell a story, so it just worked.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the shit out of doing it, because I get to see my fans and get to hear some of their ridiculous shit. And we get to have a few laughs. I mean, that's about what I'm doing these days. And anything that makes me smile.
That's good.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
How long have you been doing that?
5 years.
Nice.
5 years. I've been a few places. Been over to Europe with it, and went to Australia with it. All over the U.S., of course.
Are they still talking about that snake?
Yeah. One with warts, no scales.
They got some crazy. That whole country just scares me. I've yet to go. It's on my bucket
Australia?
list. But yeah, everything will kill you.
Yeah,
like
they got a lot of shit that'll kill you over
yeah,
there.
like, oh, it's the biggest bug. The top 15 largest, deadliest bugs are all in Australia.
Yeah,
It's
the
like,
spiders. They have spiders from
Yeah,
hell.
right.
Yeah, the deadliest octopus, the deadliest shark, the deadliest reptile. It's like, why would you want to live there? Like, no offense, Australia, for anybody who is watching, probably not. In Australia, yeah,
All of you.
yeah. But yeah, it's like, anytime you walk out of your house, you're like, holy shit, I gotta watch everything so I don't just die.
Yeah.
And I mean, but hey, Australia seems to be a pretty happening place besides all the murder animals, so.
Yeah, it is a happening place to go to. I really enjoyed my trip over there. Really beautiful country.
Where's home base for you now?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta, Marietta,
Nice.
north of Atlanta. Lived there, and then run back and forth to Texas quite a bit. I love to fish.
Oh, okay.
So,
There's actually really good fishing in Michigan.
yeah, I know there is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a terrible fisherman. I can't catch shit.
Yeah.
Not even a woman, but still, it's. But yeah. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's
Couldn't catch a fish on a plate if you had a knife in for it.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
It's not my thing, but so yeah, I know that you were billed from being from Stone Mountain, Georgia. So is that where you
No.
actually? No, not.
no, never was from Stone Mountain.
Gotcha.
Sounds cool though.
Yeah, it does. That's the reason I grabbed it. Because I met my wife there.
Okay.
So the wife that I was married to during the WWE days, then we divorced, and we're divorced for 24 years.
Did she get to keep Stone Mountain in the divorce?
She got to keep everything. And then finally I got sober and clean, and we've reconnected,
Oh,
wow.
and we're back together now.
Nice. Look
That
at
is
you.
awesome. For
After
real, yeah, that's
24
great,
years.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats.
That is like storybook right there.
It is, man. It's a dream come true. You know?
Oh, man, congratulations to you and her both. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was a girl that I dated 17 years ago that reached out to me, and we had 1 or 2 dates, and then that was it. So it clearly wasn't meant to last. But that's so awesome that
Yeah.
you've reconnected there, because I'm
Oh,
sure there's
yeah.
probably a point in your life where you didn't think that would happen.
Oh God, never thought it was going to happen, man. Are you kidding? 'Cause you say and do some horrible things to each other, whenever you're splitting up and parting ways, and we had children involved, and it made it rough.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to heal some of the children. They're still angry.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They have every right to be angry, and I don't try to pull that away from them. I don't try to talk them out of it.
Yeah.
When they decide they want to have something to do with me, they'll have it. But I'm not going to try to force it,
Yeah. It's tough.
because they've got a lot of feelings there, man. And I just hope that someday they can get into those feelings and do something about it instead of just trying to bury it.
Well, I mean, you know better than anybody exactly how painful that is
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to avoid those
Yeah.
feelings.
You
And-
can't do it, man. Sooner or later, it's going to cancer up on your ass, and
Yep. How old your kids?
you'll be in trouble. I've got 8 children. So they start at the age of 44 all the way down to the age of 24.
Okay.
So I was fertile for 20 years, I guess.
I feel like that's about the time, and I'm not good enough with math to know on your timeline when things started happening with you, but I'm 43 and I have a 6-year-old, and I've noticed also recently divorced, but I've noticed so much more has started to come out of me of shit that I haven't dealt with for
Right.
40 years. And now it's weird because I won't get into my,
Yeah.
I got my own shit and demons and whatever. But, it's like, I feel like in my 40s, I'm now looking at things. It's the first time that I'm starting to look at things in a different way. So I would imagine that your
Figuring them out.
kids are going to be on a similar
Yeah.
trajectory. It's a lot of anger and frustration, but then you get to a point. It's usually about the time where it starts hurting getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with all this shit too.
No.
Well, maybe one day when I'm good enough to actually land a serious partner, I can go through the same thing. So yeah,
No, you can have your own
I'm
demons,
just having,
single or together, whatever you
I'm
want.
still
Oh, yeah.
single for all the ladies watching, or one subscriber who unsubscribed. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just go up to the landing strip. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I can't find one emotionally, I'll find one monetarily, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake says he's got 8, but he's probably got 18 kids. So you can be
God.
one of his.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got some paper in my back pocket here that shows,
geez.
there's a lineage going on, Dad. I mean, Jake.
Yeah.
No, if you were my dad, I think I'd be a little bit taller than being
I
a
hope
nice
so.
little tiny 5'8". Now, You're billed at 6'6". Is that your actual height?
6'5".
6'5". Okay.
Soft.
6.
6'6" hard.
Oh,
I heard that. At least I think I heard that.
Oh yeah, you
I was
you
like,
heard
oh, that was a
Hopefully that
real
was your
snort.
nose.
Well, we'll know if our noses can pick that up. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. Would you believe me if I told you that you're not the tallest person we've had down here?
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah, we had a guy on. He's a local comedian. He's 6'8", probably what 350 pounds. 6'9", yeah. 6'9", 350 pounds. He broke the chair.
I believe it.
We caught it on camera. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy to me because like you watch people like you on TV and you still don't realize how big professional wrestlers are until you see them in person. I mean, like Hacksaw, he was a big dude, but his hands were like lunch boxes.
Yeah.
It's like maybe he could rip my
That's
head
a
off.
big old pause.
Yeah, paws are probably the best way to put it. And
Yeah.
now probably the biggest guy that you had to wrestle was Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
I can only imagine because he made you look tiny.
Yeah, he did.
He made you look like a little child and.
Yep. Maybe scream like a little child, too.
So how did he get that name?
I have no idea.
Talking about gimmicks. I wonder
yeah.
how
The
they
giant?
came up with
Yeah.
that one.
Something must have been really huge.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, you were in the locker room
A
with
little
him.
bigger than a mouse, I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it was a king-size rat.
As a capybara.
Full-blown rat.
I mean, that's an.
Did I say blown?
You did say blown, yeah. Speaking of dicks in the locker room, blown. No, but yeah, I've heard Andre either loved you or he hated you.
Yep.
And I mean, I can only imagine the fear of having to wrestle a man of that size who doesn't like you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really ugly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a match online where he wrestles the Iron Sheik. Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's like standing on him. I'm like, oh my God, he's
yeah.
gonna kill the poor guy. And I heard he didn't like the Iron Sheik.
He couldn't stand him. Yeah.
What are your feelings toward the Iron Sheik? Again, rest in peace.
Iron Sheik, he was just Iron Sheik, man. Take him for what he is. I'm not gonna label some guy because he's got a crack habit or drinks too damn much. I'm gonna label him if he's an asshole.
Right, right.
If he mistreats his kids. But no, I can't. I'm not gonna judge anybody. That's not my job, man.
Yeah, it's a very good point because we all have our vices.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody does, and it's part of being a human being.
Yeah.
I
Doesn't
mean,
matter if you're doing drugs or if you're eating too damn much. It's still a sin.
Yes, yes, it is.
You're not taking care of yourself. That's not what God meant for you to do.
And it's all that escape.
Yeah,
Not
it's
dealing
about
with shit.
right. Exactly it.
and it's funny too because you mentioned earlier again like how storytelling goes hand in hand with comedy and in wrestling, and we know a few comedians locally too who have gone through similar things like that and then they've gotten clean.
Yeah.
And it's very inspiring to see that happen. And
Sure it is.
it's. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I haven't had to go through anything like that, but you can see that again, like humor and other things are an escape, and it helps you deal with it.
Oh yeah, you hide behind it.
Oh yeah,
Hide behind the laughter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's actually when I started. Was during I started maybe 3-4 months before my divorce, but then I got real. Do you want me to scoot this out?
No, it's all right.
Got real into it during all of that going on with the divorce because it's exactly that. It's like, okay, well, I can get up there and tell dick jokes
Yeah.
and not deal with my life because it's a free, nice escape. So, like I said before we started, that I'm not going to be able to play the game that Justin can about
Dick jokes?
Remember. Oh no, I will go head to head with you on dick jokes, I promise. But I can't do the this time in WrestleMania and those memories. So what is? You said you're gonna go to con and you're gonna sign a million autographs. But then what's fun to you now? Like what's your I'm gonna kick back. I'm gonna relax.
This is not a joke or anything. I enjoy meeting my fans.
Good.
I truly have a blast doing it.
That's great.
And, you know, when you're looking at somebody that's 60 years old and they've got a tear in their eye because they're telling you about the first time they seen you wrestle was with their dad, and their dad's gone now, and I sure miss Dad. But we used to have such a good time watching you, Jake, and you realize that you're part of their life.
Yeah.
And a big piece.
Yeah.
Because this guy's still getting emotional 60 years later.
Yeah.
And no, I love hearing those stories. I fish, do comedy, I chase the ex-wife.
Well, you caught her, so.
Well, we're not married yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever really catch them.
You've got her on. You're reeling her in right now.
We're both hooked.
Yeah, that's
good.
That's again.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
That is so.
Lovely story,
Yeah.
That is, and it's so good to hear that it's real to you in meeting your fans, because I could definitely see a darker path for that, where you're like, oh God, here we go, another folding table.
There are
Sharpie,
some guys that are like that, and I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them because they're such fucking idiots not to be enjoying this. And those people are very sincere. They just want to connect with you just for a few seconds. And I'm more than happy to give it to them.
That's really fucking sweet.
It's very refreshing to hear somebody who actually enjoys meeting their fans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and maybe one day I'll have fans, probably not, and you know.
Come on, that's a lot to ask for.
He's telling the truth there, yeah. Like, I mean, you know, going to my shows. Oh, here's this guy again. You're hosting again. Oh, for crying out loud! I'm getting another beer. I'm going for a smoke, and then then the real comedians go on. So.
Yeah, but life's too short to not find those bright spots.
Absolutely, for real. Have you gone to any of the comedy clubs in the area here, or like any of the local shows when you've been in town?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, there is a great comedy scene in Michigan, Jake. It is booming right now.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, if you're ever looking for...
It seems that it's pretty hot all over the country right now.
Yeah, and I wonder,
I think it's bouncing off of COVID. We were locked up for so fucking long,
Yeah, definitely. I agree, and I think that it gave, in my opinion, it gave people that snapshot of kind of, okay, life's too short. What do I want to do? And you sit there for 18 months and you write, or you consider, I want to go skydiving. I want to do comedy. I want to, fuck strippers. Whatever it is you want, go through that checklist. And now, that's what they're doing.
Combine the two, fuck a stripper while skydiving. See if you can finish before you hit the ground, inevitably, yeah.
They might charge extra. It depends on the girl.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would need a parachute for both if you catch my drift. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think, I think that it has a rise, and then of course with social media, and that kind of boosting everybody up, and there's a ton of clubs, a ton of local shows, and a lot of great comics around here. Yeah,
and again, I mean, you've got Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle, you've got One Night Stands at Waterford.
I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Comedy Castle.
Oh, yeah, it's a great venue, by the way. I mean, there's a lot of... It's cool right now because they're doing this thing called the Trip to L.A. contest, where the winner eventually gets sent to L.A. to kind of go, and try and make it out there. And again, I can't speak highly enough about the scene here in Michigan. You've got so many local bars and... independent productions. You've got the Independent Comedy Club. You've got Hard G Comedy, Bearded Lamb Brewing Company, Rusted Crow. There's so many. It's every day of the week you can go somewhere and you can perform comedy and you can have a good time and see people kind of honing their craft.
Oh, that's cool.
And I wonder maybe if there's a scene back in Georgia where you could probably maybe hop around and...
Oh, there is, but I haven't done it in Atlanta yet. Because right now Atlanta's like my safe place, where I don't work.
That makes sense.
I think we all need a place where we don't work.
Yep.
And I try not to work around Atlanta. I just do my own thing and fly in and fly out when it's time to work.
It's a great hub to be
Oh,
I mean,
it's
just
great for
logistically,
flying.
right?
Yeah. Do you still get recognized a lot around town
yeah.
back home?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, again, I think it's so cool that people haven't gotten over that. I mean, I wouldn't. Every time I'd see, like, when you walked up, I was like, I heard your entrance theme in my head. When you were walking up, I was like, oh my God, it's Jake the Snake. Like, I'm going to get DDT'd in my own house and I wouldn't care. I'd love it. I'd love it. You guys would have heard a big thump and then, like, he got him. He got him. You know, Daryl could have ran.
I'm surprised you didn't have it queued up on your phone.
I thought about it,
Just
but I'm
ready
like,
to go.
I thought about it, but I'm like, he might get in the car and be like, this guy is a weird motherfucker. I'm leaving.
Oh, that wouldn't run me off.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, this is his fourth basement this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh man. So who are some of your favorite comedians that you've seen perform when you've been around doing comedy?
Oh, man. I'm shit for names, bro. I can't remember anything. You know,
Gotcha.
been hit in the head too many times, and names are like, they just run by me.
Can I ask-
I just ran into Fluffy the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he's funny as hell. Gabriel Iglesias.
yeah. Nice guy.
Can I ask you about that?
It's a Hall of Fame ring.
Nice. Did you get that at the gift shop?
Just about.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Vince McMahon gift shop.
Yeah.
Now that the feds are after him.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that he got indicted today, right?
Yeah, it's amazing that he's on sick leave.
What a coincidence, right?
The day before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The day before.
Oh,
Day before he's
wow.
become ill and has to be sequestered and
What is Vince like in real life? Is he like his character on TV?
fucking damn near straight up.
Wow.
A real fucking piece of meat.
I've heard some things about him before. Like
Yeah.
I heard a story once that he called somebody over to fix his TV because he thought it was broken, but he didn't know how to use the remote. Just because he was so busy, he didn't have time to
Learn how.
to learn how. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I can only.
Of all the crazy stories, that is not what I was expecting to hear. Like, I heard this one time, he didn't even know how to use the remote. That's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah. I mean, you've probably got some pretty good Vince McMahon stories.
No, there's no good stories on McMahon. Just read the press.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm sure more will be coming out pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was your favorite wrestler to work with back in the day?
Oh, several guys. I mean, I always had a good time when I was out there. So whether it was Macho Man or Ted DiBiase or Bad News Brown or Earthquake, whoever, I just have a good time when I'm out there. I mean, that's my playground.
How much freedom did you have?
I had complete freedom
Good.
for what I said and what I did.
Yeah, so when you were doing the snake pit, and that was all
It was all mine.
nice.
And I never thought about any of it. I just do it off the top of my head. You know, my nickname was One Take Jake.
It's a damn
One
good
take
nickname.
J. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the same approach that you have for comedy? You just kind of go out there and just kind
Let
of
it fly, man.
just let it fly. Yeah.
Take a deep breath and judge my people, see where they're at. Because I think you got to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then once you feel where they're at, now you're ready to roll.
Just don't stop.
Just take off and go. They're paid to see you.
Yeah.
So what are you worried about?
Yeah.
It didn't cost you nothing to get in here.
Now, what was it like the first time that you did comedy? Like, were you nervous? Like, did you not know what to expect, or?
I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know how they'd react to me because I've never done, had never done it. But once I got the first couple of laughs, it was like, oh, this is a fucking cakewalk.
Yeah. It's funny because we were talking before the show, Alana, specifically you were talking about how sometimes you can have great nights and sometimes, you can have those bad nights, and you just, you hope for the best whenever you go out there.
Absolutely.
Now, is it possible to bomb in a wrestling match? Like, or is it easier for you to bring the crowd back on your
You
side?
can get them back. if you work hard enough. I've never bombed.
Damn right.
I believe it.
I've had some sour ones, but I've never just literally couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? And I'm sure, I mean, it's probably easier to think about after the fact, but the 1996 King of the Ring, when Stone Cold Steve Austin beat you, he gave his famous speech. Did you think at that point that was going to catapult him to the stardom that he got?
I was one of the few guys that were pulling for him. You know, I was writing television at the time, so I wrote that shit in. You know, that him and I would wind up facing each other, and then I would do the thing where I would give him the win, and it would catapult him. It did just exactly like that. Just exactly like it was written up.
Yeah.
Imagine how that happened.
Yeah, because, I mean, I remember watching that, and I'm like, this guy, you know, he's just a bald dude who swears, wearing black trunks. He's nothing special. A year later, he's like the top star.
Thing going.
Yeah, and still people, you know, they quote the Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass, not realizing they're talking about you.
Yeah.
Do you get any of that merchandise?
I wish I did.
Oh, man.
Because there was a shit ton of it.
Is there anybody that that you didn't get to work with that you always
Yeah,
wanted
there's
to?
guys coming up today that I'd like to work with. You know, Bray Wyatt being one of them. I actually challenged him to a stripper's pole match,
Oh, tell
but
me
I've
about
yet to
this.
hear. He's never answered. Chicken shit.
If you're watching,
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, the offer is still out there. Stripper's pole match, you and me, WrestleMania.
Landing strip.
Be there.
Well, SummerSlam is this weekend. There's still time to book this.
Oh yeah.
Elena, you're really good at setting things up.
If I hit the fucking ring, believe me, that building would come apart.
Oh my God, that would be incredible. Oh my God, yeah, that rush you feel, and you know, like it's like when you hit a good joke. You know, you get that rush of laughter, and
Hell yeah, man.
it's it really is a high. You know,
Damn
like you
straight
feel that,
it
and it
is.
makes you, you know, and then you have the bad nights too, as far as you know.
I have not had one of those.
do you ever rock the spandex around the house?
I try not to.
Pull them out for old time's sake.
Yeah, they
Give it a little shimmy shake.
they're a little rolly. You know, they roll down here when they shouldn't. And,
Just play it off like a little tease dance.
yeah,
all part of
right.
it.
Now it's boxers.
Did you get to design your own pants, or was that like
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
I wish I could have been a wrestler. I have so many crazy ideas, and yeah, I'm a little bit too small. I'm just, you know, just a little wee man.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, that's what they've all said. Yeah, yeah.
Ba-da-boom boom.
But yeah, you could tell that you're in a bachelor pad, of course,
Yeah.
not a married man here.
Yeah, I did. I had to take him into the dungeon.
Into the dungeon, yeah, the sin room.
That's
to walk
that's
through the
just-
sin room.
yes,
The
walk
sin
through
room.
The sin room.
Yeah. Oh man, so have you you've done a lot of podcasts I've seen as well.
Yeah.
You know, again, you are a natural born talker, and I don't know if many people know, but you've also been in a few movies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in the Peanut Butter Falcon
Peanut
with
Butter Falcon.
is
Pretty
it
well.
Shia or Shia LaBeouf?
Yes.
Ask the man who says he is shit with names exactly
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
pronounce it.
The song says Shia.
Yeah, it's a Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like an interesting guy. What was he like to work with?
Well, he's real interesting because he had just gotten out of jail the night before for attacking 3 policemen.
Oh,
Yeah, they didn't know if he was going to be able to finish the movie.
gee,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, he had a drinking problem. I tried to talk to him about that, but I don't know how he's doing, man. Hopefully well.
I hope
you
so
know,
as well.
You know better than anybody that if they're not ready to listen, doesn't
Oh, I
matter how
know.
loud you talk.
I know that.
Well, I think if he got out of line, you could have taken him. I think.
No, that's not a question. I'd have choked him out.
Yeah. Just give him the short arm clothesline and.
Yeah, just simple choke out.
Yeah. Do you have any other any other movie roles lined up or any?
I've got a couple that I can't talk about.
Oh, exciting!
but yeah,
You're fancy.
some good stuff coming.
Yeah,
Hands in the
Really
fire.
good stuff.
I've always heard people talk online that they think you'd be perfect in like like a Western film.
Yeah.
Like an old gruff, like, you know, gunslinger. And,
I've got one coming.
oh, man. Again, we don't want to pry too much, but that's exciting.
Simply can't talk about it.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the concept. It's different names, but basically like a sliding doors or a different universe timeline or whatever. But you make a different decision and everything changes.
Right.
Was there ever a path in your mind where you are not a wrestler, where you are, you know, selling
No.
tires or
No.
you know, insurance?
No.
Was that ever? It was always
No.
just straight ahead.
Once I got on to doing wrestling, that was it. I knew there was going to be nothing else that would satisfy me.
That is inspiring and scary as hell. Like to just when you know it in your soul, because then
Then you
nothing else
lock
is ever
in.
gonna.
Right.
Guess go
If you
big or
know
go
it.
home.
Keep on pushing.
Yeah.
How old were you when that hit?
Oh, 20s. Early 20s when that finally hit. When it hit me, it just knocked me off my feet. Because up until that time, I hated wrestling.
Right.
You know, because my father had wrestled. I hated it. But once it hit me, it was like, oh my God.
Was there something specific? Like, did you have a really good match, or was there something external that changed and kind of
No,
flipped that switch?
just had a match that was not really good. It was decent, and just the feeling, and then watching the fans' reactions. That's what got me. Was the fan reactions. You know, watching them change. You know, because watching them. Oh, who's this snotty-nosed kid up there? What the fuck's he gonna do? And then all of a sudden, I did a couple of nice things. You're like, you know. So, watching that and thinking to myself, oh, they don't know that. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, because I didn't. But that's about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it was like the first time I did comedy.
Same here.
Was I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and then you get that first laugh, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
would like that again and again, please.
Yes. And then you get addicted to it, and then you keep going. Again, it's that high of the laughter that the crowd gives you. You know, and again, like you mentioned earlier, Jake, you want to see people smile. You know, like you want them to laugh, and that's always a great thing when you have, you know, people who are engaged.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in wrestling, it's so nice because you can have the people love you or you can have them hate you. You know, I love it when they hate me. I love the shit out of it.
That's the thing. The passion, the attention. Yeah.
They want to cut your fucking nuts off. Man.
Like when you eventually did become heel again, like were you pushing for that? Like did you want to be?
Oh yeah. I always wanted to be a heel. Fuck yeah.
I mean, if I were going to be a wrestler, I think I would want to be a heel as well. It just seems like so much more fun, you know?
Well, you can play with it. You have no boundaries when you're a heel. As long as you can get those people to dislike you, that's your job. Well, if you're a baby face, you got to make the people happy. Oh, fuck. I don't want to make them happy tonight. Oh, my God.
Well, if being a heel means people don't like you, then I think I'm a heel.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
I'm
You're a natural born heel.
a natural born heel, of course. Yeah,
Mark.
check mark on there. So, well, Jake, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, or?
I'm done, bro.
Gotcha. So, again, where can people not just see you this weekend, but anywhere else?
Well, just check on my social media and read about it there, and we'll run from there.
All right.
Sounds good. And
Follow the snake.
yeah, and what about you, Elena? Where are you going to be at recently?
You can find me on all the social media at Gonzaleza, Gonzaleeza. All my shows and all my shit's up there.
Gotcha. And as always, with the fall coming, I will be running my shows at Bearded Lamb Brewing Company in Plymouth, Michigan, Rusted Crow Distillery in Dearborn Heights, Downey Brewing Company in Dearborn, and starting up that new room at the Rusted Crow in Belleville. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the episode with the man, the myth, the legend,
Fucking
Jake
Jake
the
the
Snake Roberts. Excellent.